Hey, what's up everybody? I'm back with another Escape from Tarkov video. Today we're going to be taking a look at gun modding. I'm going to be sharing a lot of tips and tricks. I'm also going to be explaining how gun modding works in Tarkov and how to use knowledge to build the best guns for certain variants of guns. Before we get into the video, just wanted to remind y'all that I do stream on Twitch. Be sure to check the link down in the description below. I answer questions on stream for newer players, so if you guys are new to Tarkov and want to learn a little bit more and ask questions live, be sure to do so with the link in the description down below. Also, if this video helps y'all out, be sure to drop a like and sub. I drop guide videos like these all the time, and I'm going to be working on new content, so be sure to stay tuned for that. With all that out the way, I just wanted to remind y'all that this guide video is going to be for guns in Tarkov as general. I'm going to be using all the traders, and I'm going to be using the flea market as well. So if you guys don't have access to the flea market or don't have access to traders, I recommend the video on the top right of your screen right now. This is for level 1 traders and beginner players, and it's less knowledge, but it's more of a guide to show you what to do in the beginning. This video is going to teach y'all for the long run, and I recommend watching this video all the way through because I have a lot of information to share with y'all. Alright, firstly, just want to share a quick tip. If you guys have guns that take up 2 spaces, like let's say this SA-58, or let's say this AKM, if I put this grip on, it would take up 2 spaces like this, and it would be, as you guys can see, it's not red. If we take off the grip, we save a lot of space, and we still have the gun, we still have all the components. The only difference is we're saving space with it. So if you guys have a lot of guns and you have it in your inventory and don't have a weapons case just yet, there's a smart way to save space in your inventory. That's my first tip. My second tip is if you guys are modding a gun, I'd recommend always pressing edit preset. Right click on the gun, scroll down to edit preset, and here it'll show you a gun modding table where all the single items that you've searched before, you can put on your gun. With that being said, these are all the items that you've searched. So if you guys want some of the other attachments in the game, what you're going to have to do is go back, right click on the gun, go to linked search, and now you need to scroll through everything in the linked search and make sure that you have it all. Like for example, if I don't have this unlocked, I just middle mouse click, bam. I now have it for my edit preset. And I go through and I do that for all the popular things. This might take a while, but it's very worth it in the long run because some of these attachments are very useful. You're going to be wanting to see what the best attachments are for your weapon. So we're going to scroll through. We're going to check all these out. We're going to do whatever we need to do. It looks like I'm pretty much done already. Looks like that's about it for this gun. Still have a little bit more. And yeah, it looks like we're pretty good on it. So going back to the edit preset table, we press edit preset. Everything that we've searched is now available on this gun. So if we go here, all the different types of sights and ring mounts, whatever, all the different types of dust covers and all the different types of, hand guards or foregrips, whatever it might be. With the AKs, the most important things we want to be looking for is the hand guards, the dust covers, sights, pistol grips, stocks, and of course the foregrip and compensator. With the M4s or AR-15 compatible variants, we want to be looking for different things. For example, using this M4, we see that it has something the AK doesn't, called a buffer tube. The buffer tube is what the stock sits on. So you guys can choose what different types of stocks. You guys can choose different types of buffer tubes. And the different types of buffer tubes, different types of stocks give you recoil reduction or ergo reduction. Ergonomics and recoil are basically exactly how it sounds. Ergonomics makes sure your gun is easier to sway around, aim down sights faster, stuff like that. Makes it so the gun is less heavy, I guess, in a sense. And recoil reduction is recoil reduction. You have less recoil on your gun. Horizontal and vertical recoil count for both recoil reduction. As you guys can see, the recoil for vertical and horizontal is right here on the table. Just double click on your gun and you'll be able to see it. And your ergonomics is up here with it. Most important thing we can do when modding a gun is to know what we want with the gun. So for example, this 8R215 right here, as you guys can see, I haven't modded it very well. I've only put a long range scope and a silencer on it. And that's because I know I'm not going to need crazy ergonomics. I'm not going to need crazy recoil reduction because it's a single fire weapon. The recoil is not that important on it. It has pretty decent recoil for 70 recoil on a single fire gun. That's working just fine. And not only that, we have a long scope on it. So my ergo doesn't need to be insanely good. It's only a 38. But if we're using an AK that needs to be close range, we might opt for some attachments that are more suited for close range encounters. For example, AK-105 variant is a 545 by 39 AK-74 variant. The different variants in this game go for AK-74 that shoots 545 by 39, along with the AK-105 and AK-104. The AK-103 shoots 7.62 by 39, as long as the AKM variants. and the AK-101 and 102 shoot 5.56 by 45. And right now, let's take the AK-74 variant, the AK-105, as an example. The different things we can do is change out this, dust cover right here. We can put a Bastion. Bastion's personally my favorite. The B33 is also really good to use, but I recommend the Bastion. Let's do the Bastion for the sake of the video right now. As you can see, we need to take that off, and we can now put a Bastion on. So the Bastion has a rail for different types of sights. Now, sights are completely up to you. Those are your decision what sights you want, whatever is the most cost effective or whichever you like best. My personal recommendations are the PK06 or the Vortex Razor UH1 hollow sight. The EOTech sights are also really good, or if you want to go for a long range sight, the Hammer sight or Valde sight is also a really good option. But that is the Bastion dust cover. If you guys want to put sights on the normal dust cover, you're going to have to use some sort of mount, and it looks like this AK variant, I haven't searched the mounts yet, so I'm going to be using the Bastion as an example. We can put a PK06 on it. The pistol grip, the best pistol grip in slot is the RK3, but it is going for a lot right now. Another recommendation I have is the PP19 grip, this one right here. I recommend this because it has a better ergo than the classic AK polymer pistol grip, and it's really cheap. It's only 900 rubles. So this is a really good pistol grip. The handguard, now the handguard is completely up to you. I like the B10 handguard or the CAA handguard. We can use this for the sake of the video. And probably the best in slot is this RK14 grip. Cheaper option is the RK0. I'll be using maybe this UVG Tactical for the sake of the video. And we can also choose 60 round mags. There we go. That takes a hit on the ergo, but 60 round mags are a huge boost to the gun. And then here we can choose our compensator. I like the DTK compensator. It takes a pretty decent amount of recoil reduction. So as we can see, we press this button right here, assemble. It assembles all the parts. If we don't have some of the parts, it says we need to buy them. We click exclude barter offers, exclude only owner type traders. 25k for these two attachments, let's buy them. Now we can click on assemble, and it assembles the gun. And as we can see here, one thing I didn't mention is the stock. Now for the stock, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna put the normal stock, but I'm gonna put this recoil pad on for extra recoil reduction. It's only 3k and it takes 5% recoil, so why not? It's good for the price. And go and find this recoil pad up here, bring it down for our gun, the AK-105. So as you guys can see, we got 56 ergo, 82 recoil. It's not that great for the AK-105. You're not gonna get amazing recoil. The guns with the best recoil are probably gonna be like the SMGs that take 9mm, like the like the Vector or the MP5, for example. M4, you can do pretty well on recoil. The only difference between an AK and an M4 is that the M4, there's a lot more to worry about. For the M4, you're gonna have to worry about the size of the barrel. There's different barrel sizes, and the longer usually a good rule of thumb is the longer the barrel, the better the recoil is, but the more hit on ergo. If you guys want better recoil reduction, some of the silencers do great recoil. You can do some of these, adapters that take different types of silencers, for example. Some of these compensators take a good hit on the recoil as well, but the silencers are probably the best option right now. But the silencers do cost a lot because of the early game, so I would recommend just running a compensator right now. Pistol grips are totally up to you. Usually want to go with the best ergo. This Hue overmolded rubber grip is pretty decent as well. The upper, you might not want to change as much. I know the TX15 upper or the this 215 8R215 upper is pretty decent. And this TX15 lightweight upper is also pretty decent. I wouldn't change the upper as much. You can though, it does offer recoil reduction and ergo boost, but that's preferably up to you. There's a lot to take in, so I would recommend looking at each of these. Go to, put these on. Let's put the TX15 upper on, and let's put a different size barrel, and let's put a gas block, silencer, put, let's put that on. Put a EOTech, put a grip on this thing. I recommend press find parts and click on these and double click, look through everything, +9 ergo, -2 recoil, +6 ergo. Compare it to other variants and see which is the best for you. for the price, and for how much the performance is. Now, with all this said, there are obvious attachments in Tarkov that are always on top. These attachments are probably the RK1 grip, the PKO6, you know, different types of compensators for different types of guns are always on top. The attachments will always stay the same and they'll always be best in slot. And you'll learn that as you go. Some that come at the top of my mind are like the RK3 grip for the AK-74 series, you know, the Bastion or the B-33 dust covers. The PKO6, you know, for the sights, the RK1 grips for the foregrips, for pretty much all weapons. And yeah, there's a lot to go over. I don't have the time to go through every single attachment in the game, but these are just some that I recommend. Also, another tip that I can give is if we go to Peacekeeper and we want to buy an attachment but don't know if it fits on our gun, we can double click on it and we can hover over this drop down arrow right here, and it says all the guns in our, you know, arsenal that it can be equipped on. So here it says it can be compatible with the 8R. If we go to the Trigicon RMR, it's not compatible with anything. We go to the low profile gas block, here it says the M4A1 and the 8R that's in my equipped PMC. Here are the magazines, the DTMDR, 8R, whatnot. If we go to Prapor and do like an AK, for example, it's compatible with my 74, the 105, and the 74U. So if you guys are buying for traders and don't know if an attachment is going to work on your gun, be sure to hover over this and make sure before you buy it. The worst thing is to buy an attachment that doesn't fit on your guns. That's why I like the edit preset a lot, because you can see all the attachments that fit on your gun before you even, you know, create it. So that's why I recommend the edit preset. But if you guys are doing it the traditional way, buying it from the traders, you can use that to your advantage. Some other takeaways that I have for some other guns, like this Hunter, for example. This Hunter isn't easily modded. There's not a lot of mods we can give to it. What we can do is give it a sight, so we can choose one of these mounts. I like the SVD low mount, but we can use this Cobra, for example. Then we could throw on an EOTech, PKO6, whatever you'd like. You know, the Hunter isn't a great weapon, so I wouldn't recommend spending too much money on it. I would recommend this Cobra Reflex or this OKP7. I like the OKP7 a lot. I know a lot of people don't, but it's pretty comfortable for me. And the whole gist of this video is try to make guns that you're comfortable with. The worst thing we can do is make guns and then not use them and have them in our stash, or kill people, PMCs, and take their guns and don't use it for the entire wipe because you're not comfortable with it. If you guys aren't comfortable with a weapon, I would recommend just disassembling it and using the parts for a different gun. And if the parts are a little too expensive and you don't feel comfortable losing them, I would just recommend selling them. Because if you're not going to use it and it's going to sit in your stash, you have no point of it. You'd rather have the rubles in your inventory. With that being said, though, I would always recommend using guns. I don't recommend selling it. If you are that scared, though, you should sell it. But if you have gear fear, that's a topic for a different video. At the end of the day, you're going to need to use those weapons because, you know, it's going to wipe and you're not going to be able to use those weapons. And that's probably the worst thing that can happen. When I was a new player, that would happen to be a lot, where I would keep the weapons and then the wipe would come and I wouldn't even use the guns the entire wipe. So that's one thing to also look out for. If you guys want to search all the different types of gun attachments faster instead of going through the link search, you can come down here, weapon parts and mods, through the handbook, press the drop down arrow, functional mods, and then you can see all of the different mods through here. Here we got bipods, whatnot, we got flashlights, whatnot, presets. You can see all these different presets as well. Another tip I can give is if we press edit preset, we can actually save as the preset, so we can give this a name. And later on, when we want to find our presets, we can go to presets. Then we can search the different names of our presets and go, if we named it cheap M4, we could search up cheap M4. I'll do it for an example right here. We can edit preset. Let's put that on, and let's give this a suppressor or a compensator. Let's press save as cheap MDR. Save that, go back, press presets, search up cheap. And here we can see the cheap MDR. We open it up and it's the same MDR as we just built. So yeah, you guys can also use that to your advantage. If you guys want to make guns faster, you don't have to make guns and go through this entire process. You can save a gun, you can press, you know, save as, find, and then once you search it up, go to presets, search up the gun, press cheap MDR, open. You can press this and then click assemble, or you can press find parts and buy another one for yourself and press purchase all. and you'll buy all of those for yourself. Yeah, so basically there's not much that I can go over it without being super specific and hyper detailed. I hope this video was somewhat helpful and informational. If you guys have more questions, please be sure to let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to make videos answering a few questions on gun modding. You know, I've been playing this game for a while, and some stuff might seem really obvious to me, but new players might not understand. So please don't be scared to ask questions. Also, be sure to hop on my stream. I stream Escape From Tarkov almost daily, and I answer questions on there as well. I've helped a lot of newcomers, and I hope I can help you too. Alright, thank y'all for watching. I hope this video helped, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.